Hello guys, now as Nate is going to be waiting for his water, milk, and cheese to simmer in his saucepan, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to grate the cheese using a cheese grater. Now, in order to properly grate cheese, first we need to sanitize the cheese grater and we need to have a block of cheese in order to grate it. So with the cheese grater, you want to make sure you have a stable, hard surface, make sure it's flat, and you want to hold the cheese grater from its handle, and you want to put pressure on it by pushing down on it a bit. And with the block of cheese, you want to use the claw method like we did with our pinch and claw with cutting with the knife. Now with the claw method, to review on that, is that we want to hold the cheese like 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 this, basically like your hand is a paw. You want to try to tuck your fingers inward so you don't hurt your fingers as you're grating the cheese. So as if this is the cheese grater, and you want to with your hand you want to try to grate the cheese, but you want to be careful with your fingers. That's how we use the claw method so you don't hurt your fingers like that. Now, there are many different ways for you to use cheese in different recipes. For me, I like to buy a block of cheese rather than already shredded because the already shredded cheese has many harmful chemicals, such as to keep it from going bad. The ones that are already being shredded, whereas the block of cheese is, I would say, maybe a healthier option that has possibly lesser chemicals than the ones that are already shredded and grated. And what's good about grating cheese is that it's much safer than cutting it normally, because a lot of the cheese is hard. It's a solid basically, and you don't want to you want to rather grate the cheese rather than cutting it. And with graters, you have many different functions. So you can try to do slices. You can just shred the cheese, like the normal shredded cheese that you find in different packages. Um, Now, however, it's best if you want to cut the cheese into slices. It's better to use the cheese grater because it's much easier. So to review a bit on that, if you want to have slices of cheese instead of, let's say, shredded cheese, you want to turn the cheese grater where it has the function of just horizontal slices rather than the ones that have like little dots on them for you to shred them and grate them. So the ones that have horizontal lines on them, the ones that have slices on it. So you want to use that. So for that one, you want to press down on the cheese grater, and you want to hold the block of cheese with your right hand, and you will tuck in your fingers like we did with the claw method. And we're going to slowly press down the cheese grater, and want to press against the cheese grater with the block of cheese, and want to go down against the blade because they're going to be horizontal blades going up. With a cheese grater, with the claw method, we're going to slowly go against the blades so it comes out nice and thin slices. Or maybe you want to do thick slices. That's completely up to you as well. Now, can you tell me the different functions cheese have for our body, or how does cheese benefit our body? What do you think?
Again,
What do you think? How does cheese benefit us?
cheese is healthy
Absolutely.
and easy on the stomach too, and
That's right.
smooth, and
Mm,
it adds some more taste when you put it on other food.
that's right.
You can make sandwiches out of it. I mean, it's for carry on, not only at home.
That's right.
And
Those are really good, really good things that cheese helps us with. A lot of benefits with that. You know, cheese is a cheese is high in calcium, which is really good for our bones as well. Um,
right?
exactly. Now, I know we have to take a lot of calcium supplements. Um, cheese is a great, excellent source for that too. What recipes do you guys use for cheese? What favorite recipes that you guys have that really encompasses cheese in the dish? Do you have any special recipes for that? Special dishes? I know I have a lot of recipes
I
for that too.
love it with salad.
Mm,
With salad, it is nice. With pasta, it is nice.
mm,
With cheese and cheese with burgers, with everything. You put the
exactly.
slices of cheese with
Yeah,
burgers. You put,
of course. I know my grandmother, with her one of her best dishes that she makes is something called kanafi. Kanafi is an excellent sweet dish.
mm,
You've heard of it before, right?
yeah,
Yeah, of course. Which is mainly just cheese and with a sweetener on top of it. Or you know how it actually made.
it
Maybe you could
is.
describe it.
لما بتعرف the meaning of the kind of flour is
Hmm.
added. I think it's called simonali, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's granulated, not powdered,
Right.
and it is with cheese and this kind of flour, and then the boiled sugar.
Exactly, exactly. Do you have any other recipes that you can share with us? Because it seems you're an excellent cook, I've heard. Do you have any other
Mm.
recipes you can share with the rest of the
Yeah,
rest of
I
the
have my
class?
dish in the refrigerator. I added some cheese to my pasta. And also we put it with pasta for شو اسمها هيدي؟ معكروني وشو؟
Mac and cheese.
لا غير ما كانت تشيز اللي بنعملها بلبنان مع صلصة بيضة.
Macaroni bechamel.
ها؟
Macaroni bechamel?
بشاميل.
Bechamel, yeah, yeah, yeah. How about we can describe to the rest of the class who do not speak Arabic what macaroni bechamel is. It's an excellent recipe that we could possibly share with the rest of the class.
It's the white sauce with you use with it flour, and when you put the white sauce with a layer of pasta with red sauce, a layer with pasta with white sauce or just the white sauce, and then shredded cheese on top, and then you bake it.
Right. And now, what kind of cheese do you usually use in your dishes?
Usually we use the one that melts quickly,
Mm,
like mozzarella, like
okay.
and something you didn't say or I missed
Hmm.
about cheese. If you shred it at home, I think it is more delicious. It doesn't lose any of its شو اسمه هودي اللي directly come out of food. It's already done بتروح بتطير الريحة.
Right.
شو اسمه it's something like zest بس إنه
Yeah.
it loses these if you buy it already done.
Absolutely.
Uh,
That's right. And what's really great about cheese is that there are many different options of what cheese you would like to use. Not only different flavors, but also the fat content in cheese. Now, there are sometimes lesser fat cheese. Sometimes there's 2% less fat, or not really sure the exact percentage. But what's really great about those, they have many different options to choose from. Personally, I like to choose the one that has the lesser fat in them. Because it's a little healthier for you, because since cheese has a high fat content. Now, with the lesser fat type of cheese, it does have lesser fat content, which is actually a little bit better for you. Like for example, well, for mozzarella, I know I've seen blocks of mozzarella that has a lesser fat content than other normal cheese, which is really good. I really like mozzarella. The cheddar cheese, I believe, has a really high fat content, so I don't tend to usually buy that one. I usually tend to use, like I said, the one that has the less fat content, and it usually says it on the label. It says really big, lesser fat content on it, or lesser fat cheese. So again, buying the blocks of cheese rather than buying shredded cheese. Now, buying shredded cheese already, it is much more convenient, right? It is much more convenient, I have to say. It's less effort for you to just take the block of cheese, put it on the cheese grater. But what's great about the block of cheese rather than the shredded cheese is that the shredded cheese is very artificial, sort of say. It's a little bit artificial because if you think about it, the shredded cheese is already pre-shredded and it's in the sealed package with all of the preservatives and all the chemicals in there to help it survive in the fridge in the grocery store for X amount of time. Whereas block of cheese supposedly has, I wouldn't say less preservatives or less chemicals, but it is a little bit a healthier option for you to use. Actually, yeah, it does have lesser, less preservatives and lesser chemicals than shredded cheese.
What about the price?
The price of it, so the price, we're going to go through unit pricing for that. The best way for you to tell is that I don't really have an example with me for that.
Is it the same if you have a piece of cheese and the same amount shredded? Are they the same price? Sometimes I find shredded cheese cheaper. How come?
For that, I am not 100% sure on why that really is. Maybe because maybe the quantity of the cheese,
maybe,
or maybe because of the quality. Quality. Like I was telling you that the shredded cheese does have much more preservatives in it, so the quality of the real cheese, like the actual the chemistry of the cheese, maybe has lesser quality than the actual blocks of cheese. Now, also, a block of cheese has more quantity in it, supposedly, more than the actual the pre-shredded cheese. So they take like more cheese in the box of cheese. But in order to find out which one is the smarter option to buy, there's something called a unit pricing. So unfortunately, I don't have an example with me. But however, maybe you can help me visualize a picture here. So on the price tag, on a shelf, right? You have a shelf and you have all these different cheeses on the shelves, and underneath every cheese you have the price tag, correct? Now, if you look, maybe like bottom left or top left or somewhere on the corner, it says unit price per sometimes ounce or sometimes per pound. It all depends on what unit of measurement they're using to weigh the cheese. Maybe it could be let's say per ounce. Sometimes it would have like, let's say 99 cents per ounce, or let's say $1 and some cents per ounce. But let's say the block of cheese, we could have like a hypothetical scenario right now where the block of cheese could say it's $3, and the pack of shredded cheese is supposedly $2. But however, the unit price of it, the price per ounce or price for whatever unit of measure, is cheaper than the shredded cheese.
أنا أقول يمكن cheaper. I didn't هيك لأنه ولا مرة رحت لأشتري pieces ولقيتهم رخاص.
Right, absolutely. And what's tricky about those is that no, you are absolutely right though. Is that usually the shredded cheese is in fact much cheaper, or sometimes a cheaper option than the blocks of cheese, and you're absolutely right with that.
Why? But it takes power for the machine. Right. It takes people to watch it or pack it or.
Absolutely. I know you're absolutely right with that. But like exactly what you suggested before, it could be because of the quality of the cheese. It could be not as good as the quality as the block of cheese.
They don't shred all qualities, maybe.
Maybe. It may be.
You have to find out.
I will, and I will get back to you on that. Absolutely.
لأنه هاي فيك you can add it. طب okay, another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Kinds of milk. What that you make cheese of. We have animals that we take their milk to make cheese, yogurt, and those things. What? Can you shred all kinds of cheese?
Well, again, Possibly. It depends on the concentration of the cheese, how solid it is. You can definitely use it on the cheese grater. I know sometimes mozzarella can be little too soft on the cheese on the excuse me on the cheese grater. So for mozzarella, it'll be easier just for you to cut slices versus a hard block of cheddar cheese. Um,
Okay, I will search على which kind is better for shredding lamb, goat, cows, or donkeys.
mhm.
Do you know that they are saying that the milk of donkeys is very healthy and they are using it like medicine for
Okay.
some. So I don't know if they can make cheese out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely. I'm definitely gonna research
Try
that. Yeah, of course.
to find شو هن من وين بيعملوا الحليب من أي أحسن شيء. I don't think goat cheese can be shredded. ما بعرف يمكن.
Okay, very
Find out of
interesting.
this.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Well, now I'm gonna hand it off to our next partner here, and we're gonna move on to their lesson.